Jasmine stood at her mom's front door on Mother's Day afternoon. She was holding a white box from the bakery. Inside were chocolate croissants and lemon tarts, her mom's favorite treats. She had spent all morning baking them. The door opened. "What are you doing here, Jasmine?" Her mom's voice was cold and mean. "It's Mother's Day brunch. You texted about it last week. I brought pastries. I didn't invite you." Mrs. Edwards was watering her garden next door. Mr. Patterson was getting his mail across the street. Both of them were watching everything. "Mom, I don't understand. You're embarrassing yourself. And me. Please leave." Jasmine. The door closed. Smooth and quiet. Jasmine walked back to her Honda car. She put the box on the passenger seat. She started the car and drove away. At the red light, her phone buzzed. It was a text from Rachel. "Check WhatsApp. Look at the family group now." Jasmine pulled into a gas station. She opened the app and scrolled to find the family chat. She wasn't in it anymore. Another text from Rachel came through. "I have a screenshot. I'm so sorry." The image loaded on her phone. Her mom's message from last night. Reminder, Mother's Day brunch, tomorrow at 10 o'clock. All my children will be there. All my successful children. Jasmine chose to waste her life making cupcakes and can't control her eating. I no longer see her as my daughter. Don't mention her tomorrow. Below it, Victoria replied with a heart emoji. Gabriel replied with finally, "She's been embarrassing us for years." These were her sisters, by the way. Her father did not say anything at all. Jasmine sat in her car for 20 minutes before she could move. Hey friends, before we move on, please take a moment to like and subscribe, but only if this story truly speaks to you. Where are you watching from right now? And what time is it where you are? Drop it in the comments. The next morning, Jasmine's alarm went off at 4:45 in the morning. She had barely slept. She kept waking up and seeing those words. I no longer see her as my daughter. She got out of bed. She put on jeans that hugged her thighs. She wore a black t-shirt that stretched across her chest and stomach. She pulled her hair back in a ponytail. No makeup. She didn't have the energy for it. Sweet Morning's Bakery was dark when she arrived at 5:30. She unlocked the back door and flipped on the lights. She tied on her apron. She started the ovens. She mixed dough for croissants. Fold, turn, fold, turn. Her phone sat on the counter. She had read the screenshots 12 times last night. She saved them in a folder. By 5:50, Maria arrived. She was the manager, late 50s, with kind eyes. "Morning, Jasmine." "Morning, Miss Maria." Maria looked at her carefully. "You okay? Fine? You sure?" "You look, I'm fine. Thank you, Miss Maria." The morning rush started at 6 o'clock. Customers lined up outside. Jasmine smiled at them. She made change and pulled pastries from the case. At 6:15, the regular customer walked in. He was a Korean man in his early 30s. He'd been coming every morning for months, always at 6 o'clock. He always ordered an Americano and whatever she recommended. He looked at her and his expression changed. "Morning," she said. "The usual." "Yes, please," he replied. She made his Americano coffee. He paid and left a $20 bill for a $9 order. "Thank you." He looked like he wanted to say something. He didn't. He just left. Jasmine watched him go. She watched him get into a silver Audi and drive away. The rush continued until 9 o'clock. Then it slowed down. Jasmine wiped down tables. She refilled the pastry case. She kept moving and working. At 9:30, she told Maria she needed to use the bathroom. "Take your time." Jasmine locked herself in the single bathroom in the back. She sat on the closed toilet lid. She put her face in her hands. I no longer see her as my daughter. She pulled out her phone. She opened the screenshots again, and all of a sudden, she was 18 again, standing in her mother's kitchen. "Mom, I need to tell you something." Her mother was arranging flowers, white roses, perfect ones. "I want to be a baker." The scissors stopped moving. "What did you say?" "I'm going to culinary school. I want to be a baker." Her mother turned around to face her. "You're throwing your life away for cupcakes? For something that matters to me?" Nothing matters if you're poor, Jasmine, and you will be poor. Maybe, but I'll be happy. Her mother's laugh was sharp and mean. Happiness doesn't pay for country club memberships. Happiness doesn't get you respect. Happiness doesn't make me proud. The words hit like a slap across the face. So I'm supposed to be miserable so you can brag to your friends. You're supposed to not waste your potential. Her mother put down the scissors. She looked at Jasmine. You're already difficult enough with your weight. Now you want to throw away a full scholarship to play with frosting. Difficult. That word hurt. Like Jasmine's existence was an inconvenience to her. She also remembered one Thanksgiving. She walked into her mother's dining room carrying 3 homemade pumpkin pies. She was 27 years old. Her place card was at the folding table in the corner, with Gabrielle's stepkids who were ages 7 and 9. "Oh, honey," her mother said without looking up. "We ran out of room at the main table. You don't mind, do you?" Jasmine looked at the main table. 8 seats. Her parents sat there, Victoria and her date, Gabriel and Thomas. 2 empty chairs. There are 2 empty seats right there. Those are for the Pattersons. They're joining us for dessert. But the Pattersons never came that night. One Christmas, she made a phone call to her mother. "What time is dinner?" "Oh, Jasmine." That practiced fake regret in her voice. "The reservation is only for 6 people. Your father and me. Your sisters and their partners. You understand, don't you? I'm your daughter too, I know. Sweetheart, maybe some other time." There was never a next time. Someone knocked on the bathroom door, Jasmine. It was Maria's voice. She sounded worried. "Are you okay in there?" Jasmine looked at herself in the mirror. Red eyes. Swollen face. "Yeah, be right out." She splashed cold water on her face. She unlocked the door. Maria was standing there waiting. One look at Jasmine and she understood. "I think you should go home, Jasmine. I'll handle the rest." "Can't stay." Go. Jasmine didn't see any use arguing with her. If she was being honest to herself, she needed to take the day off. So she grabbed her bag. She walked toward the back door. The front door chimed with the bell sound. She turned around. The regular customer was there. The Korean man was walking in. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He always came at 6 o'clock in the morning. What could be wrong? Maria stepped forward toward him. "I'm sorry, we're closing. I need to speak with her." He was looking at Jasmine when he said it. "Please." Maria looked at Jasmine for permission. Jasmine nodded yes. Maria disappeared into the back room. He walked toward Jasmine. He stopped a few feet away from her. "Excuse me, miss," he said. "I've been coming here for 6 months. And I've never seen you as sad as you were this morning. Something is wrong. I saw it. I couldn't stop thinking about it all day. I'm fine. You're not. Don't cry. Not in front of him. Why are you here?" "My name is Junio," he said. "And to answer your question, because I've been watching you since I started coming here. Every morning. The way you are with customers. The way you care about every single pastry. And this morning, all of that was gone. You don't know me. That's true. But I'd like to say, my family doesn't want me anymore," she said. And she thought about how strange it was, talking to this handsome stranger about this. But it was better than crying in the bathroom. "Why?" he asked. She showed him the screenshots on her phone. "What are you going to do?" Junio asked. Jasmine looked at her hands, the flour under her nails, the burns on her forearms from the ovens. "Part of me wants to call her, beg her, prove I'm worth keeping, and the other part wants to disappear." Junio was quiet for a moment. "What if you did neither? What if you built something so big they couldn't ignore it?" Jasmine laughed. It was a bitter laugh. "I make $14 an hour. They've already decided. I'm nothing. You make the best croissants in Chicago." He didn't look away from her eyes. "I own Royal Cars, the dealership 2 blocks from here." She stared at him in shock. "It's yours?" "Yes. I've been coming here every morning because I wanted to see you." He paused for a second. "What if you had your own place? Your name on the door, your recipes, your rules?" "I can't afford that." "What if I helped?" "Why would you do that?" His voice was calm and serious. "My parents came here from Seoul with $200. Everyone told them they'd fail. They didn't fail because someone gave them a chance. and I would like to give you that chance. Her chest felt tight. If I did this, she said slowly, it would be a loan, not a gift. A real loan with interest and a contract. Okay, that's fair, he said. I'm serious. I won't take charity from you. I'm not offering charity. I'm offering a business opportunity. To a stranger you saw crying, she said, giving him a hard stare. To someone with talent. He pulled out his phone. Can I have your number? We can meet tomorrow for coffee and talk some more. She wanted to say no, but he'd been coming for 6 months. Always kind to her. He never made her feel small. She gave him her number. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning, Brewhaven on Clark Street. He left the bakery. Jasmine stood alone, phone in her hand. She went home after that. Her studio apartment felt smaller somehow. She sat on a bed and stared at the wall. The same crack in the plaster. The same water stain on the ceiling. Then her phone buzzed with a text. It was from the handsome Korean guy from earlier. It was nice to finally meet you, Jasmine. See you tomorrow. I hope you're okay. She Googled Royal Cars Chicago on her phone. The website loaded up. 5 locations across the city. Photos of Junio on the site. Owner and CEO. Chicago Business Journal article. Young entrepreneur transforms luxury auto market. He was real, and for some reason he wanted to help her. At 11 at night, she was still awake. At 1 o'clock in the morning, she opened her laptop. She searched for how to start a bakery. Equipment costs. Licenses needed. Deposits required. The numbers were impossible. $50,000 minimum to start. $100,000 to do it right. She closed the laptop, but Junio's words kept playing in her head. What if you built something they couldn't ignore? She finally fell asleep with the words replaying over and over again. When her alarm went off the next morning, she almost stayed in bed, almost gave up on everything. But she got up. She showered. She stood in her closet. She got out dark jeans and a white sweater. At 9:30, she was walking down Clark Street, heart racing fast, palms sweating. She could see Brewhaven ahead. Junio was already sitting at a table by the window. 2 coffees in front of him. He stood up when he saw her. Hello, Jasmine. Hi, Junio. He gestured to the chair across from him. Sit, please. Jasmine sat down. He pushed one of the coffees toward her. Americano. Clifton sat in silence for a moment. Jasmine wrapped her hands around the warm cup. Junio just waited, patient, no pressure on her. Tell me about your dream bakery, he finally said. If you could have anything, what would it look like? Small, she said quietly. Maybe 10 tables. Big windows so people can see in. My name on the door. Not fancy, just mine. What would you make? Everything from scratch. Croissants, tarts, breads. Things that take time. Things that matter. She looked at him. Things people remember. And I'd know my customers. Their names, their orders, their lives. I'd make them feel seen, like you do now. Like I tried to. Junio pulled a folder from the bag beside his chair. He set it on the table between them. What's that? Open it. Jasmine opened the folder. Inside were printouts, spreadsheets, photos of storefronts, business plan templates. You did this last night. Why? Because when I see something worth investing in, I don't wait. He leaned forward. There are 3 potential locations, all north side, all affordable. This one on this street has the big windows you want. Jasmine stared at the photos. A corner shop, red brick building, large windows, empty inside. How much total startup? About 75,000. Equipment, lease deposit, licenses, initial inventory, 75,000. That's a lot of money. That's why it's called a loan. Jasmine, 3-year repayment, 5% interest, payment plan attached. He slid another paper toward her. A payment schedule. Detailed and professional. Real? You're serious about helping me? Completely. What if I fail? You won't. You don't know that. You remind me of my parents. He met her eyes. You see, they came here from Seoul with nothing. Everyone told them they were crazy. Americans don't buy cars from immigrants. You'll never succeed. Go back to Korea while you still can. What did they do? They didn't listen to the noise, didn't give up, and proved everyone wrong. He paused. They succeeded because someone gave them a chance. A bank that saw potential instead of risk. That's all I'm doing to you right now. Jasmine looked at the folder again, at the numbers, the photos, the possibility. This would be a real loan. No favors from you. We sign a contract and I pay you back every cent. Agreed. And if it fails, I still owe you. Stop saying but if it does, then we'll figure it out. But it won't get to that. Jasmine closed the folder. I need a week to think about it. Take all the time you need. No pressure. She left the coffee shop with the folder under her arm and a decision to make. That week, sleep was impossible. She ran the numbers 100 times. She read articles about failed businesses. She searched for reasons not to do it. But every morning she woke up thinking about those big windows, her name on the door. 1 week later she walked into Royal Cars. The dealership was massive. Gleaming cars under bright lights. Salespeople in suits. She felt out of place. Her jeans, from Target, her shirt stretched across her chest and hips. But Junior's assistant greeted her warmly and led her to his office. Glass walls, leather chairs, a view of the city. I'll do it, she said before she could change her mind. He smiled. Good. The contracts were already prepared. 3-year loan, 5% interest. Payment schedule. Everything she had insisted on. Her hand shook as she signed her name. This is yours now, Junior said when she finished. Build it. Thank you very much for this, and I'll pay you back every cent. I know you will. She stood to leave. He walked her to the door. Jasmine. She turned around. I believe in you. 3 words. Simple words, but they hit different than anything her family had ever said. She left with a check for $75,000 in her purse, and a future that finally felt possible. 8 months changed everything. Jasmine's bakery opened in early fall. Small space on Clark Street. 10 tables. Big windows. Her name in gold letters on the door. The first week was terrifying. What if no one came? What if her mother was right? But by week 2, there were lines out the door. By week 4, she was selling out by noon. By the 2nd month, food bloggers were posting photos. By the 3rd month, the local news came to film a segment. Everything she made was from scratch. Chocolate croissants that shattered when you bit into them. Lemon tarts with curd so bright it hurt to look at. Breads that smelled like home. People came back. They remembered her name. They told their friends. And every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, Junior walked through the door. He ordered his Americano. He sat at the corner table, and he watched her work. By winter, the numbers were real. Money in her bank account. Real money. She had made her first loan payment ahead of schedule. For the first time in her adult life, she wasn't counting every dollar. Junior brought her lunch one Saturday afternoon. The place was packed with customers. She hadn't eaten since before dawn. You forgot again, he said. He set down a container of Mexican food. I didn't forget. I just didn't have time. Same thing. They sat at the counter in the back. She ate while he watched her. Thank you, she said, for all of this. You are the reason I'm here. Stop thanking me. Who did this? That evening after closing, she found him by the door. He was checking his phone. It looked like he was about to leave. Junior, he looked up. Hey, I was just heading out. You need a ride? She wiped her hands on her apron, heart racing. Can I ask you something? Of course. She took a breath. Just say it. Have dinner with me. Real dinner, not a business meeting. Not lunch between rushes. She looked at him. Come to the bakery. Tomorrow night after closing. I'll cook for you. He went very still. Jasmine, I know we have a professional relationship. I know we shouldn't mix business. She kept going before she lost her nerve. But I like you, and I'm tired of pretending I don't. Junior stared at her. So, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, if you want. She tried to sound casual. She failed completely. No pressure, just, if you want. He stepped closer to her. Are you asking me on a date? I believe I am. A slow smile spread across his face. Then yes, 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 yes. He looked at her like she had just given him something precious. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, I'll be here. At 7:30 the next night, Jasmine was panicking. The bakery was closed. She had pushed 2 tables together near the window. She set out plates and chopsticks. She lit candles because the overhead lights were too harsh. She had spent 2 hours cooking Korean food. She had researched recipes online. She read food blogs until she found dishes that looked authentic: galbi, kimchi, jjigae banchan made from scratch, rice in a small cooker from the back office. The kitchen smelled like garlic and sesame oil and nerves. What was she thinking? Inviting him here, cooking for him, telling him she liked him. But she had spent her whole life being invisible, waiting for permission, playing it safe. Not anymore. At 8 o'clock, someone knocked on the door. She opened it. Junio stood there holding white peonies. You brought flowers. You invited me to dinner. I wasn't going to come empty-handed. She let him in. She locked the door behind them, the closed sign facing out. They sat down. She served him the food. She watched him take the first bite of galbi, his eyes closed. This tastes like home. I researched, watched a lot of videos. He opened his eyes. He looked at her. You learned to cook Korean food for me? I wanted to get it, right? He set down his chopsticks. He did. They ate together. They talked. She told him about the first time she made croissants. She nearly burned down her kitchen in culinary school. He told her about learning to drive stick shift in his father's first inventory car. After dinner, they cleaned up together. Him washing, her drying, moving around the small kitchen like they had done this 100 times. When the last dish was done, Jasmine dried her hands. She turned to face him. This was it. She had to say it now. Junyu. Yeah. I need to be honest with you. He dried his hands. He looked at her. I know I said we shouldn't mix business. I know it's complicated. I know all the reasons this could be a bad idea. She gripped the counter behind her. But I like you. Not just as someone who's helping me. I like you. Her voice shook. I like the way you show up every morning. I like the way you remember how I take my coffee. I like the way you look at me. Like I'm not too much or not enough. Like I'm exactly right. She took a breath. But I'm scared. Because what if this doesn't work? What if it gets messy? But I'm more scared of not trying. Of letting you walk away without knowing. The silence stretched out. Then Junio crossed the space between them. He cupped her face in his hands. You're not going to mess this up, he said quietly. Neither am I, we're not. No. He smiled. Really, really. Then he kissed her. When they pulled apart, he rested his forehead against hers. I like you too, Jasmine. So much. In case that wasn't clear. She laughed, happy and breathless. It's pretty clear now. Go. They stood there in her closed bakery, surrounded by the smell of bread and kimchi jjigae, his arms around her, her hands on his chest. The weeks turned into months. They fell into each other slowly and carefully. He would show up at the bakery with her favorite tea when she was stressed. He would stay after closing to help her clean. He would listen to her talk about new recipes, without ever looking bored. He made space for her in his life, without asking her to shrink. Spring came, then summer. They fell deeper into each other. He took her to meet his parents one evening. She was nervous. She wore her best dress. His mother opened the door. She immediately pulled Jasmine into a hug. She started speaking rapid Korean. Junio translated while laughing. She says you're too thin. She's going to feed you. His mother did exactly that. She piled Jasmine's plate with food. His father showed her photos of their first shop. The tiny space, the beat-up inventory. You remind me of us, his father said in careful English. Then he said more in Korean, that Junio translated. That same fire in your eyes. That same refusal to give up. His mother hugged her again when they left. She whispered something in Korean. What did she say? Jasmine asked in the car. That I should marry you before someone else does. Jasmine laughed, but her heart was racing. The months kept passing. They grew closer in every way. He learned how she took her coffee. She learned he woke up early to work out. He learned she stress-baked at 2 o'clock in the morning. She learned he called his parents every Sunday. Fall came again. A full year since the bakery had opened. Business was exploding. Catering orders flooding in. Corporate events, weddings, birthday parties. She was turning people away. "You need to expand," Junior said one night. "I can't manage 2 locations." Then hire managers. "You're not just a baker anymore. You're a business owner." The idea terrified her. More locations meant more risk. But Junior believed in her, and she was learning to believe in herself. Months later, Jasmine's Bakery South Loop opened. Bigger space, full cafe menu. A manager named Sarah ran it while Jasmine perfected systems. By the following year, a 3rd location opened in Lincoln Park. 3 locations. She was paying back faster than required. Sometimes he would try to refuse the payments. She would insist. It mattered to her, proving she could do this on her own terms. One morning, Junior showed up at the original bakery before opening. She was alone in the kitchen making croissants, flour on her apron and in her hair. "What are you doing here?" she asked, surprised. He walked to her. He took her flour-covered hands in his. "Marry me?" Jasmine blinked. "What?" He got down on one knee, right there next to the industrial mixer. He pulled out a small box. "Will you marry me?" She started, laughing. "We're in a bakery. I'm covered in flour. This is where it started. And by the way, you've never looked more beautiful." Inside the box was a diamond ring. "Yes." He stood up. He kissed her. He lifted her up and spun her around. She laughed. "Put me down. I'm too heavy. You're perfect." They were engaged, building a life together. Weeks later, the letter arrived. She was getting an award, Illinois Small Business Owner of the Year nomination. She stared at it. She read it 3 times. Her name in bold letters. "You should accept," Junior said, reading over her shoulder. "My family will see." Good, let them see what they threw away. She thought about it for days. Then she accepted. The ceremony was set. Chicago Convention Center. Hundreds of attendees. Television cameras. 2 weeks before the ceremony, the email started. Her mother wrote, "I saw the nomination. So proud of you, darling. We should talk. I'd love to attend and support you." Victoria wrote, "Congrats on the award, Jazz. This is amazing. Can I come to the ceremony?" Gabrielle wrote, "Heard about your nomination. We're family. We should be there to celebrate with you." Rachel called that night. Her voice was tight with anger. "They are planning to come anyway. I saw the group chat." She sent screenshots. Mother wrote in the chat, "The ceremony is public. We'll attend. Sit in the family section. This is a good opportunity to reconnect and show our support publicly." Jasmine read them, all of them. The familiar ache tried to surface, but it didn't hurt the way it used to. "What are you going to do?" Junior asked, watching her face. "Let them come. Let them sit there and watch." The night before the ceremony, Jasmine stood in the original bakery alone. The lights were off, except for the streetlight coming through the windows. Her name in gold letters on the glass. She thought about years ago, standing at her mother's door with pastries no one wanted, reading that WhatsApp message in a gas station parking lot, believing she was nothing. She looked at her reflection in the window, her body, her curves, her thick thighs and dark slacks, her soft stomach under her blouse. The body her mother had called difficult. The body she had spent decades trying to fix. This body had built an empire. Tomorrow her family would see what she had become without them. Tomorrow they would see she didn't need them. Tomorrow she would tell people exactly who her family really was. She pulled out her phone. She opened the screenshots from years ago, the ones she had saved in a folder labeled proof. She read the words one more time. She felt nothing, no pain, no longing, just clarity. Tomorrow they would understand what those words had cost them. Junio found her there an hour later. He walked up behind her. He wrapped his arms around her. waist. He rested his chin on her shoulder. "You ready?" he asked. "Liz, what are you going to say?" "The truth. All of it." He kissed her temple. "I'll be right there the whole time." "I know." They stood there together in the dark bakery. Her empire, her dream, her proof. "Hey guys," Jasmine's family shows up to her award ceremony, uninvited, unwanted, ready to take credit for her success. The same mother who said, "I no longer see her as my daughter." The same sisters who called her an embarrassment. The same father who'd never said a word. They want photos. They want to sit in the family section. They want the world to think they supported her all along. But Jasmine has receipts, screenshots, proof of everything they said, everything they did, and she's about to make them regret ever underestimating her. But before we get to that moment, I need to know something. Drop a comment right now if your family excluded you for years, then showed up when you finally succeeded. Would you expose them publicly or just walk away? Hit that like button if this story hits, and subscribe, because what Jasmine's about to do on that stage, you don't want to miss it. The confrontation is next. The morning of the ceremony, Jasmine stood in front of her closet for 20 minutes. Everything looked wrong. Junio found her there, staring at dresses and slacks and blouses, like they were impossible puzzles. "What's wrong?" he asked. "I don't know what to wear to tell your family. You don't need them anymore." He smiled. He handed her a box. Inside was a magnificent dress, simple yet elegant. "This one, thank you." "Baby," she put it on. She looked at herself in the mirror. The dress showed her body, her soft stomach, her full hips, her thighs, everything her mother had called difficult. Her hands were shaking. She tried to steady them but couldn't. 3 years of silence, 3 years of building a life without them. And now she was about to blow it all up in front of that crowd. "What if I can't do it?" she whispered. "What if I get up there and freeze?" Junio stood behind her. He kissed her shoulder. "Then you freeze and we leave, and you still have 3 bakeries and a life you built without them." He met her eyes in the mirror. "But you won't freeze. You're the strongest person I know. You're beautiful. And you're about to remind everyone you don't need anyone's permission to exist." Her phone buzzed. Rachel texted, "They're already here, front row, acting like a proud family. Your mom is wearing Chanel and smiling for the cameras. I'm going to throw up." Jasmine showed Junio the message. "You don't have to do anything you don't want to," he said quietly. "We can just accept the award and leave." "I want to do this." "You're sure?" "I need to do this. I won't be able to live with myself if I don't." They left for the convention center 30 minutes later. The Chicago Convention Center was massive. Everything smelled like money. Hundreds of people in suits and dresses milling around. Cameras everywhere. Local news, business publications, social media influencers covering the event. Jasmine walked in holding Junio's hand. Her palm was sweating, but he didn't let go. She spotted her family immediately. Front row, center section, reserved for families of nominees. Her mother wore a cream Chanel suit, pearl earrings, hair perfect. Her smile was even more perfect. She was talking to another woman, gesturing, laughing, playing the role of proud mother. Victoria sat beside her in a navy dress, professional, polished, playing supportive. Sister Gabrielle on the other side, emerald green dress, designer bag, playing successful family member. Her father stood off to the side talking to a man in an expensive suit. It looked like a magazine spread. Perfect family supporting their successful daughter. Jasmine's stomach turned. "There they are," she said quietly. A woman approached her family, press badge around her neck. "Mrs. Reed, I'm with the Chicago Business Journal. How does it feel to see your daughter nominated for this award?" Her mother's face lit up. "Always so incredibly proud. Jasmine has always been driven. Kai always had this entrepreneurial spirit. We knew from the time she was young that she'd do something special. Lies. All lies." Victoria nodded enthusiastically. "She's an inspiration to all of us. Really, we're so lucky to have her." Jasmine watched from across the room. Junio squeezed her hand. They found their seats, far from the family section. Junio had requested it specifically. People approached to congratulate her. Other nominees, business owners, local politicians, everyone smiling, everyone kind. 20 minutes before the ceremony started, her mother found her. Jasmine, darling. Margaret Reed walked toward her, like they had just seen each other yesterday, like nothing had happened, like 3 years of silence didn't exist. She reached out for a hug. Jasmine stepped back. Don't. Her mother's smile faltered just for a second. Then it was back, brighter, more practiced. Sweetheart, I know we haven't talked in a while, but this is such a special day. We should take a photo together for the family album. No, just one photo, darling. For me. Her mother's voice dropped. Intimate, pleading. I'm your mother. You stopped being my mother 3 years ago. Victoria appeared. Perfect smile. Perfect hair. Come on, Jade, don't be difficult. It's your big day. Let's celebrate together as a family. Gabrielle joined them. We're your family, Jasmine. We should be in the photos. People are watching. Think about how this looks. That's exactly what I'm thinking about, Jasmine said quietly. Her mother's eyes narrowed just for a second. Then the smile was back. We'll talk after. Clear up this silly misunderstanding. You weren't my family 3 years? Go. You're not my family now. Jasmine turned and walked away. Behind her, she heard her mother's voice. Tight, controlled. She's just nervous. Big day. You know how it is. The ceremony began 10 minutes later. The chairman took the stage. Tall, polished, reading from a teleprompter about innovation and entrepreneurship and the American dream. He introduced the Small Business Owner of the Year category. He read through the nominees, their achievements, their stories. Then he announced Jasmine as the winner. Jasmine Reed, owner of Jasmine's Bakery. 3 locations across Chicago. She started with a loan and built an empire in under 3 years. A true self-made success story. Her family jumped to their feet, clapping loudly, beaming, acting like they had been there the whole time. The cameras captured it. Her mother's proud face, her sister's excited smiles. Perfect family moment. Her name echoed through the convention center. She stood up. She walked to the stage on shaking legs. The award was heavy, crystal, real, her name engraved on a gold plate. She stood at the podium. She looked out at the faces, the cameras, the lights, her family in the front row, smiling, like their faces would crack. She took a breath. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you to the committee for this incredible honor. I want to thank my family, she said. Her family's smiles got bigger. They thought she meant them. Junio, my fiancé, the man who believed in me when no one else did. Junio's parents, thank you for raising such a man, and coming to this country with nothing but still pulled through everything life threw your way, and taught me that family is who shows up, not who shares your blood. The smiles faltered. Maria, my manager at Sweet Mornings Bakery, who saw potential when I couldn't see it myself. Her mother shifted in her seat. Rachel, my cousin, my only family who stayed. The smiles were gone now. Jasmine paused. She let the silence stretch. She let them wonder. I want to talk about family support, she said, her voice steady, clear, because everyone talks about family, right? The people who are supposed to be there through everything. She pulled out her phone. The room went quiet, confused. Why was she pulling out her phone during an acceptance speech? 3 years ago, I stood at my mother's door on Mother's Day, brought her favorite pastries, but she closed the door in my face. Gasps in the audience, whispers starting, cameras swinging to her mother. That night, she sent a message to our family WhatsApp group. Margaret Reed's face went white. Jasmine read it slowly. Every single word. I no longer see her as my daughter. Don't mention her tomorrow. The room erupted. Whispers, gasps, shocked. Faces. Her mother's mouth opened. No sound came out. Victoria covered her face with her hands. Gabriel stared at the floor. Her father stood up. He started walking toward the exit. Jasmine didn't stop. She listed every exclusion. Every moment, every insult. The Thanksgiving when she sat at the kids' table, while 2 empty chairs stayed empty at the main table. Cliff's reservation for 6 people. She wasn't one of the 6. She was family. She just wasn't the right size to be seen. Each example landed like a bomb. People in the audience were crying. Others looked horrified. Cameras captured everything. Every tear, every gasp, every moment of her family's humiliation. That was difficult. That was an embarrassment. That was too curvy to be seen with the Reed family. Her voice was steel now. No shaking, no hesitation. And then I built this. She held up the award. 3 bakeries, without a single dollar from them, without a single word of encouragement, without a single phone call asking if I was okay. She looked directly at her family. Her mother was frozen, a statue in Chanel. 2 weeks ago, my mother emailed. So proud of you, darling. We should talk. She paused. Where were you when I was sleeping on an air mattress in a studio apartment? Where were you when I worked myself to the bone and came home too exhausted to cry? Where were you when I couldn't afford rent and had to choose between electricity and groceries? The cameras stayed on her family, capturing every second of their humiliation. You don't get to decide when I'm valuable. Her voice filled the room. You don't get to show up now and take credit for something you tried to destroy. You don't get to erase 3 years of silence and pretend you cared. She paused. Let it sink in. So thank you. Thank you for closing that door. Thank you for that WhatsApp message. Thank you for every exclusion and every insult. Thank you for teaching me the most important lesson of my life. She looked at her mother one last time. I don't need you. I never did. She stepped back from the microphone. Silence. Complete, total silence. Everybody was holding their breath. Then someone in the back started clapping. Then another person. Then another. Then the entire room was standing and applauding. Some were crying. The cameras swung back to her family. Margaret Reed's face was twisted. Rage, humiliation, shock. Her perfect mask shattered. Gabrielle stared at her phone, probably already seeing it go viral. Her father was gone. He had left during the speech. Jasmine walked off stage. Junior met her at the steps. He wrapped his arms around her. I'm so proud of you, he whispered. She was shaking, adrenaline, relief, terror, everything at once. Behind them, the room people talking, whispering, pointing, phones out, recording, posting. Reporters rushed toward her family. Security tried to control the crowd, but couldn't. A reporter shoved a microphone in her mother's face. Mrs. Reed, is the message your daughter? Read authentic. This is a private family matter that's been taken out of context. Did you really exclude her from Christmas? We had limited space at the restaurant. What's your response to her speech? Victoria pushed past. The reporter. There's a misunderstanding. She's always been sensitive. We love her. But the cameras didn't lie. The screenshots didn't lie. The speech was already online. Real-time chaos. Other award winners approached. People Jasmine had never met. That took courage. I'm so sorry that happened to you. You're an inspiration. Jasmine couldn't process any of it. The words felt far away. Underwater, Junio guided her toward a side room. Away from the chaos. Away from her family. Away from everything. In the hallway, she could hear her mother's voice. Shrill. Desperate. I need to speak to my daughter. Secure's calm response. Ms. Reed requested no visitors. I'm her mother. She was very clear, ma'am. This is ridiculous. She's confused. She's upset. I need to explain. Mum, please step back. Outside the convention center, more chaos. Reporters surrounded the family. Cameras. Microphones. Questions flying. Mrs. Reed, did you really send that message? Is everything your daughter said true? What do you say to people calling you a narcissist? Margaret Reed tried to maintain composure. This is a private family business. My daughter is exaggerating for attention. We've always supported her. A reporter held up a phone. Someone posted screenshots of the WhatsApp message. It's verified. It matches what she read word for word. Victoria burst into tears. "We love her. This is all a misunderstanding, please." But social media had already decided. The video was everywhere, hashtags trending. Jasmine Reed, toxic family, family redemption, Jasmine's speech, comments flooding in by the thousands. "I'm crying. This is my family too." The mother's face when she realized she got exposed. 3 years of silence. And now they want photos. Disgusting. That speech is going in the history books. She had receipts. The screenshots don't lie. "My narcissist mother did the exact same thing. I felt this in my soul." The Reed family was being destroyed in real time. Every news outlet picked it up. Every platform sharing it. The perfect family image crumbling. With every share, every comment, every view. In the side room, Jasmine sat on a folding chair. Junio beside her, ritual pacing. Her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Notifications exploding. Thousands, tens of thousands. News outlets requesting interviews. Strangers sending messages of support. Her mother called so many times. Victoria texting. "Please call me. We can fix this. I'm so sorry. Please." Jasmine looked at her phone. At the chaos she had created. At the truth she had finally told. Then she turned it off. Junio looked at her. "What do you want to do?" "Go home with you. I'm done." They left through a back exit. Rachel clearing the way. Security holding back reporters. Camera flashes everywhere. Questions shouted. "Jasmine, how do you feel?" "Well, Cliff, well..." "You reconciled with your family?" She didn't answer. Didn't look back. Junio opened the car door. She got in. As they pulled away, she could see the convention center in the rearview mirror. The chaos. The cameras. Her family's destruction playing out in real time. She had done it. She had told the truth, and she didn't regret a single word. Jasmine woke up the next morning in Junio's arms. Sunlight streamed through the bedroom windows. For a moment, she had forgotten everything. The ceremony, the speech, her family's faces. Then it all came rushing back. Junio was already awake, watching her. "Morning," he said softly. "Morning. Your phone's been buzzing non-stop. Do I want to know?" Junio reached for his laptop on the nightstand. He opened it. He turned it toward her. The screen showed her face. Dozens of articles, video thumbnails, headlines everywhere. Illinois baker exposes narcissist family at award ceremony. Viral speech has 10 million views in 12 hours. "It's everywhere," Junio said. "Every major outlet, local, national, international. They're calling you a hero." Jasmine stared at the screen, at her own face, frozen mid-speech, at the comments scrolling endlessly. Thousands of comments, tens of thousands, all saying the same thing. "Me too. This happened to me too. Thank you." Junio scrolled to another tab. News segments playing on mute. Mental health professionals analyzing the speech. Support groups forming online. People sharing their own family rejection stories. He scrolled again. "Your bakeries?" Photos of all 3 locations. Lines wrapped around the block. People holding flowers. Notes taped to windows. Balloons tied to door handles. Her phone showed missed calls. Texts and emails in the thousands. Sarah, her South Loop manager, texted, "Boss, we're slammed. Wine out the door since we opened. Everyone wants to support you. Should we hire more staff?" Maria from Sweet Mornings texted, "So proud of you. You did the right thing." And then her mother, 15 missed calls, 8 voicemails. She didn't listen to them. Junio closed the laptop. "How are you feeling?" "I don't know." "Regret?" "No." Gritty kissed her forehead. He got out of bed. "I'll make breakfast. You take your time." Jasmine sat alone in bed. She stared at her phone. She opened social media. The video was everywhere, every platform, shared millions of times. Her mother's face when Jasmine read the WhatsApp message. Victoria's tears. Gabriel staring at the floor. The silence after she said, "I don't need you." The truth was out there, and it wasn't going back. By the afternoon, her family had responded. Margaret Reed released an official statement through a high-powered PR firm, the kind celebrities use during scandals. We are heartbroken by the public mischaracterization of our family dynamics. Jasmine is going through a difficult time and we believe she needs professional help. We have always loved and supported her, and we hope she finds peace. We ask for privacy during this challenging period as we pray for our daughter's healing. Professional help. Healing, they were calling her unstable. The internet didn't buy it though. Victoria posted on social media a photo of Jasmine as a child. Pigtails, gap-toothed smile. Caption: I love my sister and deeply regret any pain I may have caused. Family is complicated and messy. I hope we can heal together and move forward with love. The comments destroyed her within minutes. He called her an embarrassment, and now you're posting childhood photos. Victoria's post was deleted 30 minutes later. Her account went private an hour after that. Cabaret went completely dark. Private on all platforms. Professional website taken down. Disappeared. Her father said nothing. Posted nothing. Posted nothing. Released no statements. As always, Richard Reed chose silence. Rachel called that evening, voice shaking with rage. You need to see this. She sent screenshots. The family WhatsApp group, the one Jasmine had been removed from 3 years ago. Rachel was still in it. They didn't suspect her. The messages were what Jasmine expected. Her mother blamed Victoria for not keeping Jasmine in check. Victoria shot back that Margaret was the idiot who put it in writing. Gabriel said they had all been cruel, so stop pretending otherwise. Margaret defended herself, said she was protecting the family. Called Jasmine's wait and bake a career embarrassing. Still meant it. Victoria lost it. 3 clients dropped her that day. Her career was done. Gabrielle wasn't doing better. Her firm was reviewing her partnership. The messages got vicious. Then her father sent one line: "This family is done. I'm out." It left a chat. They were ripping each other apart. She laughed so hard her cheeks hurt. 2 days later, the legal threats arrived. A certified letter delivered to Jasmine's bakery. Thick envelope. Law firm letterhead embossed in gold. Cease and desist. Defamation claims. Demands to retract her statements publicly. Threats of a multi-million-dollar lawsuit if she continued spreading malicious lies. Junior read it. He laughed, and he called his lawyer immediately. "They have no case," the lawyer said over speakerphone. "Truth is an absolute defense too. Defamation." She has the screenshots, the messages, witnesses, proof. Let them try. I'd love to depose Margaret Reed under oath. No lawsuit ever came. The letter was a bluff, an intimidation tactic. It failed. The weeks that followed were chaos. Interview requests from every major outlet. Major podcasts with millions of listeners. Publishers offering 6-figure book deals. Jasmine turned down most of it. She accepted a few. A podcast about family estrangement. A local news segment. One national morning show, where she could speak directly to other people who had experienced family rejection. She told her story again and again. Each time more people reached out. Women, men, people from every background, every age, every race, every country. My family did this too. I thought I was the only one. It gave me courage to leave. The bakeries became pilgrimage sites. People came from other states, other countries, not just for croissants, but to meet her, to hug her, to share their stories. A woman in her 50s came in one Tuesday morning. She waited in line for over an hour. When she finally got to the counter, she couldn't speak. She just started sobbing. Jasmine came round the counter. Immediately, "Are you okay? My mother hasn't spoken to me in 10 years, because I married someone she didn't approve of. Watching your speech, I realized I wasn't crazy. I wasn't ungrateful. I wasn't the problem." She grabbed Jasmine's hands. Thank you for giving me permission to stop trying." Jasmine hugged her. They cried together. Other customers cried watching them. This happened daily, sometimes multiple times a day. A teenager said, My mom uses food to control me, calls me chubby, makes me feel disgusting. He showed me I don't have to accept that. Sales tripled, then quadrupled. Jasmine had to hire 20 more employees across all locations, open earlier, close later, expand production capacity. But Jasmine didn't care about the money or the fame. She cared about the woman who sobbed in her bakery, who bowed the emails from strangers saying you saved my life, about the teenagers who finally set boundaries, about the truth finally being told. 1 week after the ceremony, her mother showed up. Jasmine was in the original bakery, early morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, making croissants like she always did. Maria came to the back, face serious. Your mother's at the front door. Security stopped her. She's asking to see you. Says it's urgent. Jasmine wiped flour from her hands. She took off her apron. She walked to the front. Margaret Reed stood outside the glass door. Hair perfect, makeup perfect, designer coat, but her eyes were red, puffy. She had been crying. Real tears or performance. Jasmine couldn't tell anymore. She opened the door halfway. He didn't let her mother in. She stood in the threshold. Jasmine. Her mother's voice cracked. Broken. Desperate. Please. Let me explain. Let me apologize. Just 5 minutes. No, I'm your mother. You were my mother. Past tense. Don't say that, please. Tears streamed down Margaret's face. Mascara running. I made mistakes. You didn't make mistakes. You made choices. Every single day for years. Her mother stepped closer. Security. Tensed. Ready to intervene. I was wrong. I see that now. I was too hard on you. Too critical. I had expectations that weren't fair. The words sounded rehearsed. Coached. People make mistakes. Jasmine. Mothers make mistakes. Can't you forgive me? Give me one more chance. You had thousands of chances. I didn't know what to say. I was hurt. Her mother's voice rose, the mask slipping. You rejected us by choosing that culinary school over a real career. You threw away your future for cupcakes, and there it was. Even now, even begging, she couldn't help herself. Get out, Jasmine, please. People are calling me a monster. Her mother's desperation. Exploded voice shrill, ugly. They're sending death threats to my house, vandalizing my car, destroying my reputation. You have to make it stop. Tell them it was exaggerated. Tell them we reconciled. And there it was. The real reason she came. Not sorry for the pain she caused. Sorry for the consequences she was facing. I can't make it stop, Jasmine said quietly, calmly. The truth doesn't stop just because it's inconvenient, Pirzad said. Her mother's tears dried up fast, like a switch flipped. You're just going to cut me off forever, ruin my life, destroy our family name over some petty grudge. You cut me off first. Remember, I'm just making it permanent. Her mother's face hardened, the mask gone completely. Pure rage underneath. You'll regret this. Family is everything. Jasmine, one day you'll be old and alone, and you'll realize what you threw away, and it'll be too late. Jasmine smiled, sad, tired, free. You're right. Family is everything. That's why I chose Junio. That's why I chose Rachel. That's why I chose Maria and Sarah, and all the people who showed up when I needed them. That's why I chose myself. She stepped back inside. She locked the door. Her mother stood outside for 5 minutes, staring, waiting for Jasmine to change her mind, to crack, to beg. She didn't. Margaret Reed finally left. She got into her Mercedes. She drove away. That was the last time Jasmine ever saw her. 6 months later, Jasmine stood in front of her 4th location, Jasmine's Bakery, Wicker Park, the biggest one yet. Floor-to-ceiling windows, exposed brick, outdoor seating with heaters, full cafe menu, ribbon-cutting ceremony. Over 200 people showed her media, customers, supporters, friends. Junior stood beside her, her husband now. They had married 2 months ago. Simple ceremony at the courthouse. Dinner after at their favorite Korean restaurant. His parents, Rachel and Maria, close friends. Intime Junior's mother was there today, crying happy tears like she always did. Junior's father beaming with pride. They had embraced Jasmine completely, caught her daughter, treated her like she had always been theirs. Rachel was there with her husband and kids, Sarah and the other managers, employees who felt like family. No one from the Reed family. And Jasmine didn't care, didn't even think about it until now. They were ghosts. Irrelevant. She cut the ribbon. People cheered. Cameras flashed. But not because of scandal this time. Because of success. Because of resilience. Inside, she gave a short speech. Nothing dramatic. Just honest. 6 months ago, I told the truth. Today, I'm living it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for showing up. Applause. Warm. Full of love. Later that night, after everyone left, Junior and Jasmine stood alone in a new space. Moonlight through the massive windows. The smell of fresh paint and new beginnings. You happy? He asked. Yeah, I really am. Any regrets? Not one. He pulled her close. They swayed slowly. Even though there was no music, my parents want us to come to Seoul next year. Meet the extended family. I'd like that. They love you. My mom keeps sending me recipes she thinks she should try. Jasmine laughed. I know. She sent me one this morning. They talked about expanding to a 5th location. Maybe opening a baking school. Maybe writing a book about resilience. They talked about the life they were building together. With their chosen family. No mention to the Reeds. It didn't matter anymore. 1 year after the ceremony, Jasmine walked through the original bakery at 4 o'clock in the morning, making croissants. Fold, turn, fold, turn. The rhythm meditative. Her phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her pick up. Jasmine Reed. Yes, this is Amanda McCall with the Tribune. 1 year anniversary of your speech tomorrow. Any comments? Any reflections? Jasmine paused. She thought about everything that had happened. Everything she had lost. Everything she had gained. The family that threw her away. The empire she built. The truth she told. The freedom she found. Yeah, she said finally. I'd do it again. Every single word. She hung up. She continued working. The dough soft and perfect in her hands. Junior walked in. He brought her coffee. He kissed her forehead. They had fallen into this routine. Him bringing her coffee at 4:30 in the morning. Her taking a break to sit with him. Quiet time before the chaos. You okay? He asked. Perfect. As she meant it. She looked around her bakery. Her name on the window in gold letters. Her recipes on the menu board. Her empire was built from nothing but flour and butter and courage. 4 locations now. More employees. Over 1 million in annual revenue. A husband who loved every inch of her. In-laws who treated her like a daughter. A cousin who never left. Friends who became family. And her birth family. Gone. Margaret's reputation never recovered. Victoria lost clients. Gabrielle lost her partnership. Richard divorced Margaret 6 months after the speech. The family scatter. Broken. Jasmine didn't celebrate their destruction. She just lived her life. She didn't need revenge. She had never needed revenge. She needed freedom, and she took it. Jasmine Reed didn't need anyone's permission to be valuable. She had always been valuable. She just had to believe it. And now, she did the end. And that's where we leave Jasmine. Friends, if you're still here, I appreciate you. Look, I know that pain. When your own family treats you like you don't exist. When they comment on your body every chance they get. When you finally succeed, and suddenly they want to claim you. You might not have been excluded from Christmas dinner, or sat at the kids' table at 29, but I bet you felt what Jasmine felt. At that moment when you realize, the people who should love you unconditionally don't. Here's what this channel is really about. Plus-size women who stopped apologizing for taking up space. Women who chose themselves when their families wouldn't. Women who found Korean men who looked at their curves and said perfect instead of diet. If that sounds like the content you need, this is your channel right here. Subscribe because we're here every week with stories of women like Jasmine, women who got their freedom back. Tell me in the comments, would you have exposed your family like that, or would you have walked away quietly?